I'm learning about this thing called spinors, and apparently it's electrons. And when you rotate an electron, instead of like 360 leading back to its original position, you have to rotate it 720, so twice to get back to the original position. And they're calling that a spinor, and they're saying it's just a mathematical construct or something. It's not even like, I don't know. I don't really understand how it's just mathematical, but two things. That it's just mathematical gets to my whole point that the universe is a program written in the language of math. I feel like spinors are proof of that. So that's one thing. And the second thing is, wouldn't this explain how electrons are entangled? An electron here is attached to one in Africa. How is that possible? Well, I always speculated there was some like mini wormhole or something that connected it. But what if it has something to do with these spinors? Because when you rotate it, you have to rotate it twice around to get back to its original position. So I guess my question is, what's happening in that other position? Can't that be the electron in Africa? Like at 360 degrees, it's not back into its original position. So it's like out of phase with itself, which means can it be the entangled particle at that point?
Huh. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like that still implies that there's some kind of, see, to me that implies it's math. That this whole structure is math. Because if we take it at physical space, it seems impossible that they could be entangled through a spinor, because it's still like the same thing. But if you view the whole thing as math, then it makes sense. Because mathematically, like let's say I was writing a program, mathematically I could have like a pixel over here that when it rotates, say the pixel turns, and then the pixel over here like turns the other way. That's not really possible in physical space, I don't think, but it's possible in a program to do that. So I feel like spinors are proof that we're actually in the matrix and that this whole thing is just written in math. You know, I've said over and over that I think this is a world that's created at the fundamental base layer. It's made of math. This somewhat proves that. Spinors? Come on. What the heck is going on there? So you know what's happening? We observe something in the physical world, an electron rotating, not going back to its position at 360. It needs 720. We observe this, and then like the only place it actually exists is in math. How is that even possible? Unless you're in a computer. Yeah. Yeah, it's like you can't even wrap your head around it. The guy I'm watching is like a world-renowned PhD physicist, and he's like, you can't even really understand it. What? Well, that's messed up, but I feel like that example I just gave, if you're in a computer and I have a pixel here and I rotate it, and I could have it be attached to a pixel over here simply through an algorithm of math. It doesn't have to be linked through any physical space. See what I'm saying? Like, if I turn this pixel, this one moves the opposite way. If I turn this pixel 360, it doesn't go back on itself. You have to do 720. I could do that in a computer program. So, I don't know. Maybe we're in the program. Anyway, if anyone could explain spinors better, that'd be great. As of now, I'm viewing them as, until I hear something better, I'm going to keep studying this on YouTube. But until I hear something better, I feel like they're like mathematical code. It's not really a real thing.
No.
It's like,
No, they're mathematical objects like that void caster.
Mathematical objects?
Right.
That sounds like you're in a computer.
Yeah.
What on earth?